Good morning. Hello. Bienvenue. What's going on? Hey, Way Chill Life here. Rachel here, and super stoked to be here for another episode of Way Chill Living. And there she is, my girlfriend. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Rachel. It's been a while. How are you doing? Good morning, everyone.
Super happy to see you here today. Wow, what amazing transition we have been going through. How are you holding up, Kim?
Oh, I've been good. It's gone up and down, but lately it's been very good.
Oh, well, I am really happy to be here and to announce that we are going to continue on with Way Chill Living every Wednesday morning. Maybe in the fall we'll go back to Sundays as well too, but we are going to do live episodes every Wednesday morning to help you get you through the week and get you in balance and in check with what's going on spiritually, astrologically, emotionally, all the crazies that's going on with this amazing time. Wow, we talked a little bit about this 10-year cycle of energy that's happening right now, and it is massive. It is just explosive. I have to admit that there's been a few weeks, and I did say weeks, that I really couldn't do much of anything. Now, fortunately, we were moving and transitioning to our new location, but boy, I was tired. I was out of it. I couldn't sleep at night. That 2:11 in the morning for about 7 days in a row. It was like, for me, it was at 2:11. It used to be at 3:11, but this morning changed time zones maybe. And so now at 2:11 a.m. for about 7 days here, I just woke straight up and, couldn't go back to sleep. The wah, 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 wah in my head was just almost unbearable. But, this is what we're going through. This is that crazy transition. So today I thought that we would talk a little bit about spirituality. Ooh. And really, what does it mean? Hey, Prince, good to see you again. Thanks for being here. And if anybody's watching, do you want to type in a question as we go along? Please do, because we will answer them to the best of our abilities. And we wanted to give just more of a personal understanding of what spirituality is, because we get bombarded with religious beliefs, and right now in our country, which we're not going to go into because it's a weird time, there's a lot of religious beliefs and there's a lot of division coming from these religious beliefs. So what is how about Kim? Do you know anything about the difference between religious and spirituality?
And actually, what we're going through now, what we have been going through, I'd say pretty much through my whole lifetime, but what we're really feeling now is man or the leaders' interpretations of religion, because religions are actually a lot kinder than they are represented by man. They start off much kinder than they are now represented by man. No of the major religions, none of them require intolerance of others. None of them, really. And it was interesting to find out that the most tolerant religion is, what people might not guess right off the bat, is Islam. So
wait. Say that one more time for me, because I missed that.
The most tolerant religion is Islam, in that it instructs its followers to be tolerant of all. So it is not the religion itself, or the beginning of the religion is the way man interprets it or pretends to interpret it in order to use it for our own, agendas. Which is, it's not an uncommon thing, because we all kind of might tend to do that on some level. But when it's a desire to control events or control people, yeah, that's what we're experiencing now, is the distortion of
The
religion.
dogma.
Of
Prince,
really,
thank you. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're not going to talk about religion. And um and that's where things get sticky and icky and confusing. But I love the fact that you just told me that Islam requires
Yes.
their people to be tolerant.
Of
I
all
love that tolerance. It was really interesting. 10 years ago, when I first heard about the Museum of Tolerance in California, I got to be honest, I had to roll my eyes and be like, are you serious? We
Mm,
have to create a museum to tell people to be tolerant? Oh my goodness, we do.
mm,
People don't understand that we all have to have our personal freedoms, which allows each culture and every religion, as long as they don't harm another person, we don't want to harm anybody, to really have their beliefs and to do what they like. So, oh, no audio.
aw,
Bye, Allison.
bye.
Okay, but there's just so much to talk about here with spirituality. So, I want to give you, first of all, my definition of spirituality because, well, I'm goofy, but I understand spirituality as this personal study of the meaning of life. So, this is Rachel's definition. And my definition is that you are a drop of the creator's substance with your individual record living on planet Earth as a being to experience free will and as much joy as possible. Spirituality is your personal journey to that freedom of knowing who and what you are. Pretty basic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy. But if you look up on the computers, because that's what we do. We don't go to books. When we look up on the computers and we say, what does spirituality mean? Oh, you get a plethora of all kinds of information, which sometimes is groovy and great, and then sometimes is a little bit overwhelming. Prince, you said it perfectly there. It's remembering who you are. Remembering who you are. I've said this before, but I'm going to remind you, Kim, did you know you're divine?
Yes, but I don't always remember it.
Ah, that was
Well, that
perfect.
is to say, yes, you know it, but living it, because we live in our emotions, circumstances outside of ourselves that affect our emotions, and we forget that we are divine. It's actually a practice. Where we are now, we have to practice our divinity every day. We have to remind ourselves all the time and practice. But I remember it more and more now, because I call in my spiritual guides, which right now is Isis, the goddess Isis, which actually is working for everybody right now. But my feeling of spirituality is, yes, connecting to the divine, to ourselves, and the divine, which is everything and everyone and every atom. And modern in modern terms now, I think that spirituality guides, for me, science, because spirituality somewhere accepts and knows what science is yet to, but is going to prove. So these things, for people who don't believe in, spirituality and all those things, or are resistant to it, is that they are just things that science is yet to prove. We have the faith in them before science proves them. It doesn't mean we're stuck in whatever we believe, but we're going along with the learning, with the journey too. So all of it, the science is part of it as well, because science is constantly proving and then disproving and then proving something else and learning and learning and learning. So that's back to religion, even though that's not what our main topic is. That's where religion kind of gets us, because religion, even though it wasn't meant to be where we went and stayed, religion keeps trying, or the way we use it keeps us still, staying in a certain belief and not varying from it. So that's why a lot of people will say, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. That's my experience.
I love that. That is great. And I love the fact that we're trying to keep spirituality down to the basics. What is it? Keep it simple, silly. We really want you to not become overwhelmed. As a ex-conspiracy theorist, recovering conspiracy theorist, I understand that we can take a little topic and really exaggerate it and really allow our imagination to connect it with other things, and it becomes overwhelming, and we can go down that proverbial Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of chaos and confusion, and really pull together all kinds of things that really maybe don't need to go together. And so when I looked up spirituality on the computer, it really it bummed me out, because us humans, as always, we have to define and categorize everything. We have to make levels and steps for you to go through. And
that's basically it. I see what you. No, I just see what Prince wrote, and that is, yeah, that's basically it.
Let's read. Do you want to read what Prince wrote?
It's not on it. Prince says that his belief is that we come here as spiritual beings to experience emotions, to develop more understanding of where we came from, and helps us to move closer to source when we return to the spirit realm.
Perfect.
And that is actually, that for me, that's part of the journey. And then to remember, though, that we are never separate from source.
Never.
We and source are the same.
No. That's the great lie. That's the great lie that unfortunately most religions do teach, is that God is above us. It's this great mysterious sport that looks down on us and keeps records and judges us.
And decides who can get in. Yes.
Yeah. No.
God is a bouncer at a club. Not a doorman at a club.
Yeah. No. God's right there in your heart. Always. Yeah. You cannot separate the blood from your body and exist. Therefore, you cannot separate God from your being and exist. Actually, everything on this planet, whether it's a plastic cup or a dog, has essence of divinity, has essence of God in it.
Which
all
maybe right. Okay. So would you say then that's the issue now, is that we operate as if we're separate? Yeah. And we
operate as though the government or school or somebody else has control of God and us.
Or as if there's something we could possibly do to separate ourselves from source, as if we're not worthy to always be part of source. That is, I think, maybe the crux of what's going on right now. Are we worthy?
The original sin.
We
were born sinners. No, we weren't. It was just told to us. We just think that we were born to sin. We weren't. We were really born to, like Prince was saying, to live and understand joy, to experience life. This is the only plane, the only place in all of the universes and dimensions that you can truly have free will, which we have explained before. Free will is chaos. It is your option to choose anything you want to do at any given point in time in any site of life. In other words, God's will, or Your will is something that you created before you came down on this plane. You left two maps of
Mm,
your will for you to follow. You have
mhm.
one on your hand and you have one in astrology. So these are your personal guides that you chose for your will or God's will. Free will is the opportunity to go off the path of what you planned, to go off the path of anything, and it's totally cool. You can do whatever you want. You could become
So,
a heroin addict, you could become great into debt, you could
mm,
become a flash dancer or a movie star, or there's unlimited of what you can become with free will, but it
um,
might not be for your highest good.
so when people talk about, for example, well, what's the point? Because if there's fate, if everything's left up to fate, then what's the point of free? What's the point of trying? But fate is just something that we wrote for ourselves, so we can rewrite it. Yeah. It's not
Exactly.
something outside of us that, creation says, oh, well, no matter what you puny humans do, this is what's going to happen. No, we created that. We
So
created it ourselves.
when we look at the different types of spirituality that of course humans made, they have mystical spirituality. I guess that's where I fit in.
Mhm.
I would call it goofy spirituality, but they call it mystical, where we have to go beyond the material and physical world. Once again, quantum physics, my friends in science, are
Mhm.
actually proving everything that we believe in this mystical realm. So I think that's pretty cool. And then they go into authoritarian spirituality,
What is that one?
defined by following a set of rules. And
Mm.
I would like to know who wrote those rules, because there's only like 7 or 8 universal rules that exist anyway, and they're so simple. Um, I just think it's kind of funny that they have an authoritarian spirituality. I guess that's for people who really want to. Well, I mean, I'm a rule follower, so I can't really complain too much.
Are you? Okay.
I
Maybe I should try that.
am. I am, because I believe that if I follow the rules, then it makes the community go
Mhm,
better, because that's why I
mhm,
believe they were made. And yes, there are some rules that need to be broken, but
mhm,
overall, I am more of a rule follower. But I don't like the
mhm,
authoritarian spirituality.
mhm.
All right, intellectual spirituality. Oh, these people drive me crazy. Intellectual spiritualists are the enlightened beings that know so much that you just don't even want to talk to them, because I admit sometimes I get this way where it's my know it all stage and I just know things. And I mean, I know it so much, so deeply in me that I can't seem to do anything but know the answer, right?
Mhm.
Uh, I'm trying to back away from that. So, intellectual spirituality, that's complicated. Maybe that's sacred geometry. Let's
Mhm.
let's say that's sacred geometry. All right, what's the next form of spirituality? Service spirituality. Why did I do that with service
Yeah.
spirituality? Because I understand that we can't help anybody unless they ask for help. And the first person that we have to help is ourselves. And that's really a big problem. You know, our society has somehow forced a lot of women into guilt that we are supposed to take care of everybody around us, that we are supposed to make sure everybody's happy and fed, and that we are supposed to be the hostess with the mostest, and go and serve and Florence Nightingale. Oh, yeah. Service spirituality is really important if that is an archetype that you need to understand.
I can tell you, okay, because I didn't come from a household like that where women, where that was the role of women.
Mm.
So I'm not aware. So I can say, although I get what you're saying about society putting that image, that role on women, that was just an outside thing. But I can say that my father was, you could say, spirituality, service spirituality, because he was in his later life a minister, became a United Methodist minister. He was a scout leader. He was a political leader, because even though we were living in the United States, my father and his friends still kept in touch with the politics in their own country and contributed to the politics in their own country and had groups just for that, right, to continue that. So, and that says something. Also, my father's the kind of person who, if you said you had a problem, he would not only talk to you about it, he'd help you solve it and put you in touch with people who could help you solve it.
So
So
he
that
was both
is
service and social spirituality
okay. Yeah, there you go.
because he cared about the greater social patterns.
He genuinely, yes.
And I wish I could, but I can't. I can't.
Uh-huh.
I've hit a wall of
Mhm.
yeah, I hit a wall of my tolerance, and that's
Mhm.
about all I can do now. And that's amazing. And you're right. Our
That's
religious
yeah.
leaders, oh yeah, it goes back to Adam and Eve. Look at this, Prince. You are so on this topic today. It's true. We do need more selfless people like your father.
Mm.
Prince actually himself is a great example of both social and service spirituality because Prince runs some churches and he does it and he really does help other people.
Mhm.
So I guess you're right. I can't be so harsh on people who really do give their lives to helping others. I I need to honor them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Honor all
That's
of
a
them. Yes.
great type of
Yes.
spirituality.
Honor all of them.
Uh,
You know?
and then this it goes into talking about different paths of spirituality. And then we go into rules and regulations. And again, that's not how I believe we are headed anymore. I want to read one more thing about spirituality. And actually it's not about me or the internet. I
Mhm.
kind of posted a question before the show out into the general public. What do people think about spirituality? And I got a really great response from an old high school friend of mine, which I think is pretty cool. That that
Mhm.
my old high school friend actually gave me a
Fine there.
comment.
Mhm.
And so here is what he wrote. And this is Kevin Earthsoul. Growing up as a Mormon, spirituality meant having a relationship with God mediated through the church and its teaching. It meant having an absolute certainty that truth was revealed through the Mormon prophets in testimony. I left the church for several reasons, but I came to learn the power and the sacredness of spiritual intellect, humility, and curiosity. I learned to dance in the sacred space of, I don't know. Now, spirituality is very personal and directly experienced in my relationship with nature, myself, and others. I am now a practicing pagan, witch, shaman, and datka.
Mhm.
Wasn't that beautiful? I mean, thank you so much, Kevin,
Mhm.
for, really being honest. What a that to me is spirituality. Spirituality is so personal that
Mhm.
I don't know that one person can define it.
Absolutely not. No. Mhm. I would say because it is personal. Yeah.
And it is your relationship with God, your relationship with Source,
Mhm.
your understanding how loved you are.
Mhm.
Can I prove? Can I just prove for 5 minutes how loved you are? Oh, there's Canella. All right.
Oh, you know.
We're going to do just
Noah.
a quick 5 minutes because I want to prove to you that God is already within you. That You actually already are a spiritual being, whether or not you practice meditation or go to a yoga class or sit in beautiful lotus position.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you're Hindu, Muslim, Christian. None of those names or titles matter. What matters is how you feel. Feel. What is your experience? See, Prince, for me, it's about being an example. And he just poses as a teacher. You're a great teacher, Prince.
Mhm.
All right, so we're just going to take 5 minutes here because I want you to feel that God is within you. And I want you to feel how much love is there. So if you want to, put your feet flat on the ground. If you want to stand up, you can. If you want to lay down, you can. But for this, we're just going to do it, right here as we're sitting down. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, go right ahead. If you would rather, look at the goofy faces that I make, that's cool too. All right. So as we sit here, we're going to breathe in through our nose. I'm going to exhale out our mouth. And with each breath in, we're going to imagine as though this golden white divine love is coming in. And as we exhale out, we're pushing out all of the things we no longer need. And we're breathing in that love. And we're pushing out the old. And as we just find our breath and we calm our minds for a minute, let's just imagine as though our soul or our spirit, just for a moment, imagine as though it just steps out of your physical form. And we humbly ask the Archangel Uriel, Uriel of the North, please come and be here with us. And we imagine that this great being of light, this Archangel, gently grabs our hand or our spirit. And we imagine as though Uriel takes us down, down, down to the center of the earth. Imagine going through the earth's mantle, down through the earth's crust, down, down, down. As we travel through the center of the earth, we pass granite and gemstones. We go down into the heart. Imagine for a moment that it's a beautiful, ginormous quartz. And we feel this energy of this quartz beating. Just for a moment, bask in the energy and the love of Mother Earth. Feeling this hot love energy filling every cell in your being. Feel how the energy uplifts and removes what you no longer need. This beautiful beating quartz, feeling the love of Mother Earth. As we grab this beautiful energy of nature, we begin to pull it up. And Archangel Uriel helps us bring this energy up, up, up through the earth's mantle, up, up, up past water, past granite, past gemstones, up, up, up. We pull this amazing love energy. And as we go back up, up, up in earth, we actually feel in our physical body that warmth come up, up, up through our feet. That love goes up, up, up our thighs, up, up into our heart. And we feel this Mother Earth love expand out our heart past the horizons. Now imagine as though Archangel Metatron has come to be with you. He may come in sacred geometry in the Metatron's cube, or forms of bright, bright, vivid colors. This amazing being of light takes your spirit now, and you begin to ascend up, 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 up into the higher heavens. Up, 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 you fly with Archangel Metatron. Up, 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 high into the heavens, reaching that source, that God spark. Imagine just for a moment that as you step into this great heaven of the Mirayai Monte, the Mirayai Monte, the Mirayai Monte, you see this beautiful creek. It is just a rivulet or a small river, a small creek flowing in this beautiful crystal aquamarine high energy love fluid. You go over to the small stream and you can either step in or dip your head in or cup this love energy water and pour it over yourself. And you feel the love of our Creator. You feel how this high love energy begins to absorb into your physical body, elevating your DNA, your DNA, your DNA. As you feel this love, this energy, this divine love energy enter into you with the help of Archangel Metatron. You pull this amazing water back down, down through the 9 heavens, down, down, down. And you bring it back down to earth. And you find yourself stepping back into your physical being. And coming out of your heart is this living water. And you find yourself stepping into your heart space that's filled with the divine love of Mother Earth. And now you open the door and you allow God's love in the form of the living water to come through your heart. And you feel this wave of love in your heart. And you feel this connection in your heart. As this energy then expands through your whole being, coming through your heart, going up north, the true north, it expands out your crown. And you can feel yourself as a conduit of that divine love coming up through your feet, the divine source coming through your heart and mixing the two and exploding out your whole being. As you feel this new energy you've created, hold yourself inside of your heart. See yourself inside of your heart standing there with these two energies holding you. And together, let's say your name. I love you, Prince. I love you, Kim. I love you, Canella. I love you, Rachel. I love you, Jamie. I love you, Jennifer. I love you, Vanessa. Say your name and feel that connection and that love for you. And then I want you to take that love and expand it outside of you. Feel it growing out of your heart and covering you. And let's take that love and let's send it to those in need. Imagine anyone in your family, any friends, anybody who you would like to send love to for healing, for help. Send the love to those who you don't understand. Send the love to all beings just for a moment. Eloah, Keloah, Mananano Holo, Eloah, Keloah, Mananano Holo. In your own time and space, fill your entire being up with your spirit again. Fully and completely come back into awareness of who and what you are. Take a deep breath in and exhale out your mouth, feeling whole and complete in who and what you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes and be here with me in this most wonderful time of the world. Thank you for participating in our meditation today. That
Very good.
is spirituality for me, is knowing how much love there is for me from the universe, from God, from Source. How is that for you, Kim?
You know, I never like to talk immediately about my experience because I have to take it in. So I'm going to leave it at that, actually. But would
Perfect.
anyone else like to comment?
Yeah, please, you can write. I know there is 3 or 4 of you that went through this. Prince had to leave, but he went through it and he loved it. But the whole concept to me is that we don't need to make things complicated anymore. You don't have to go to a mystery school. You don't have to study your whole life, memorize mantras, know different deities,
You don't have to.
figure it out.
Mhm. We're in the age of nonconformity, so you don't have to conform. There are all kinds of guides showing us now here that we don't have to conform because it is a personal experience. It's a personal connection. So
It's your
whatever
connection.
moves your spirit, that's what you follow. And if it truly does move your spirit, it will not move it to harm others.
No, it's all about you. So, whatever religion you follow is great. There is no right or wrong. Whatever it is that you believe is perfect for you. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I mean, of course, I have my own opinions. We all know how opinionated I am. But really,
Mm.
spirituality is something that should be giggling. Oh, here we got some
Have a good time,
comments.
Yoga Prince.
Yeah. And Canella wrote that
Thanks for
she
being here.
connected in with divine love
Hmm.
and it radiated out to her community. Oh, that's wonderful. So my whole point today is that spirituality is whatever you want to make of it. There is no right or wrong. There really aren't any directions. And it's truly just about you living in peace with you. Being at peace with who you are, your surroundings. Of course, if you connect to your guides and you listen, things become easier and there's an ebb and flow. But really, what is it that makes you at peace? And if you can only find that in the church, then that's great. You at least found a place where you can find it. Again, I love the study of spirituality because there is no one answer. The only answer that I understand is that you are divine. You carry the creator inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you are the most perfect you that you could be. I don't care what mistakes we've made. They're not mistakes, they're lessons. It's a new understanding. We are way too harsh on ourselves. We beat ourselves up way too much. So, I hope that today you got a little bit of understanding of spirituality for yourself. I hope you get to feel the love and the joy in the simple form of just who you are. Spirituality is not defined on how you look, what you buy, how many malas you have, how many crystals or deities you pray to. Spirituality is defined only by you. Any closing thoughts, Kim?
I think that Reverend Canella, Reverend Barton, has said it actually. Feel divine within us and spread it forward. Push it out, radiate it to everyone, to everything, even the seemingly inanimate, to everything and everyone. Yes. Thank you,
All
Reverend.
right. All right. Well, that concludes another episode of Way Chill Living. Pretty happy that you came here and got to experience some love with us. You can always check us out. Hear other videos on Way Chill Living on YouTube, as well as my website, waychilllife.com. I do private sessions, and I am also starting up a monthly divine meditation on the second Tuesday of every month. So next Tuesday, if you want to do a 45-minute live meditation with me, you can check it out on waychilllife.com, and you can get yourself a link. And other than that, I just wish you the most beautiful day for you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you all for being here.